let's get into Alex right here. Oh, Alex. Oh,
he's a mess.
All right, let me start by just showing you guys this, which is kind of funny. Little blast from the past. We're gonna do a little promo for Nick, but unlike the shilling I've just done, it's gonna be in a bit of a fun way. I want to show you guys. I want to take you back to 2017 for a minute and show you guys what you were missing out on if you weren't there for it. You know, we all know the story about Alex and how he tried to ruin a guy's life. I've been through this 1,000 times before. We know. We're caught up. We're familiar with the tale. But just to kind of show you guys what the crazy shit that we were looking at back then. This is an old screenshot that Nick put up, just to kind of remind us of Alex during the whole Jaackmate situation and how he treated that situation. It's very similar. There's a lot of parallels to the Slazo situation if you look back at the Jaackmate situation. Now, let's look at this funny tweet right here. Alex says, "Hey, Tommy C, did you send your dick to underage girls too? Multiple would be even better. A response would be real nice." Oh,
hey,
my
Tommy,
God.
you sending your dick to kids?
All right, Boblox, I know you're getting a little excited, but we're not going... There is no underage...
I'm reiterating what Alex said.
Oh, okay. I just...
I'm over-exaggerating what he said. I'm not saying that from me. Sorry, it sounded that way.
Oh, my God. You sounded just a little too excited, so I just want to make sure you're like, whoa, Tommy! No. You gotta remember, these allegations are coming from ImAllexx, about the least trustworthy person in the fucking world. Now this tweet right here, you might be confused what the context of this was or when this was tweeted. This says 2 hours ago, but this is obviously an old screenshot. This takes it back to 2017, and I believe it was February or late January. Here's the full context right here. So this is a tweet from Deodor Anthony, where he says, "Haha, Jaackmate sent and received underage news from underage girls. Sent and received nudes from underage girls. Ironic from the man that made 2 videos on predatory YouTubers. God, funny as hell." And then Alex quote tweeted this and says, "Hey, Tommy C, did you send your dick to underage girls too?" Because at the time they were having a little beef. And so Alex decided he was going to imply that Tommy C is a pedophile too. Now, it links back when you think about how he treated the situation now, where he implied that Slazo was a pedophile by stating that Slazo was getting with 14-year-old girls, which on surface levels sounds terrible until you remember that Slazo was 16 at the time that he was dating the 14-year-old. And if you think 16 to 14 is pedophilic, you're a fucking retard. Please, just sunset yourself. Just get out of here. Just fucking end it, all right? Because that's ridiculous. You might think that's a little weird, but to say that that's pedophilia, it's just literally factually inaccurate, and it's fucking weird that you would think that there's, you know, a pedophilic nature to a 16-year-old and a fucking 14-year-old going out, all right? Let me just make that abundantly clear. Just in case there's any question.
Just in case Unfunniest is watching or anyone who thinks like...
Yeah, just in case Unfunniest is watching, please literally hang yourself in Minecraft. If you think that that's pedophilic, because that's ridiculous. I mean, it just undermines the entire like wording and definition of the word pedophilia to insinuate that 16 to 14 is pedophilic. I mean, that's just, it's sick to suggest that, in my opinion.
Speaking of Unfunniest, have you seen his response defending ImAllexx's tweet to Tommy C?
Oh my, I'm so glad you reminded me of this right here. Oh, I just had it pulled up and I didn't even think to show it. Unfunniest, of course, he has to work his way into every story. So, you know, of course, Nick posts a screenshot. It's very, very funny to look back on the past.
Oh my God, that fucking... My reply has 59 likes. I didn't even notice.
Ratio to
5
shit,
likes
man.
to 59. Big brain over here.
It just gets better, man. It just gets better. Now, of course, Nick tossed this tweet up. It's very funny to look back and compare this very old drama to, of course, the news story that took place in the summer and kind of see how 2 years ago, Alex is the exact same. But, of course, amongst all of this, Unfunniest... a very, very common show lolcow up there with Bunty King and, well, I wouldn't say he's up there with Alex. Alex is a special case on his own, but I'd say Unfunniest kind of falls in the Bunty King territory. Maybe even worse than Bunty. I mean, we laugh at Bunty, but Unfunniest is just despicable in every way.
If Unfunniest had a bigger following, he would be dangerous. Like, the only reason he is more of like a funny lolcow is just because he has like 300 subs and nobody knows about him.
I've said this,
and nobody takes him seriously.
Yeah, and I've said this multiple times, but I firmly believe. Now, Unfunniest, he was growing when I first started criticizing him. The main reason why I started criticizing a guy with 300 subscribers and followers is because he was growing. Every video he was putting out was getting more views and subs, meaning he was reaching new audiences and could be potentially dangerous if he picks up the wrong story. He's not growing anymore, to my knowledge, so he's kind of more of a lolcow, but I still firmly believe he will grow, he will pick up a story, and he will severely fuck it up. Not just the point where we can laugh at him for it, but we're gonna laugh at him for it, obviously, but in the process, he's gonna take down some innocent career because this dumbass picked up a false pedophile story and tried to ruin a guy's life, and he's gonna get sued to shit. Or, sorry, his parents are gonna get sued to shit.
Because you know how
I'm gonna laugh at him for that.
are.
I'm not gonna laugh at the fact that he ruined a guy's life, but I will laugh every day of my life when he gets sued to shit. When his parents lose everything they own because of his stupid ass. Where are they, by the way? Looking at what he's doing online and stuff like that.
Yeah, fucking accusing people of being pedophiles and shit. Now, the worrying thing about Unfunniest is because he's actually good at editing, so if people come across his video, and you know how gullible people are on the internet, if they see a well-edited video with someone who's relatively well-spoken in the video and hear these facts, they're gonna take it at face value and think it's real. It's not like some fucking kid with their shitty webcam being like, "Hi guys, so-and-so is a pedophile." It's like someone who actually is good at editing. And has like a presentable video, right? So.
He may be a joke on Twitter, but his presentation is it might not be for me. I think it's kind of I think it's kind of a mess, but visually it looks good. So someone who stumbles across his videos, they're going to see this highly edited video, and it's going to be a trick mentally, right? Because they're going to see a highly produced, highly edited video and assume that correlates to intelligence and or it correlates to truthfulness in what he's saying. Which it absolutely doesn't. Anyway, going back into this specific situation here, I gotta take a moment just to shit on this guy, because, of course, we're sitting here laughing at ImAllexx, all of us collectively laughing at this loser. And, of course, Unfunniest has to jump in, just completely buzzkill the whole situation and be like, oh, well, he's just asking a question.
He's just asking a question. He's just asking Tommy C if he,
He's just asking Tommy C
kids.
if he's a pedophile.
Question. Just pretty curious, Like, Augie, I'd walk up to you and just be like, hey, yo, you ever send your dick to underage girls? Nothing behind that. I'm just curious. Like,
what's funny about this specific situation, right, is because it's so flawed. If I were to walk to Unfunniest and be like, yo, are you fucking autistic? Don't get offended. I'm just asking the question. Even though the context that I asked that in was obviously hostile. I'm obviously asking that to demean you. I'm obviously making fun of you. But don't get offended, because I'm just asking if you're autistic, if you're fucking retarded. I'm just asking, It's like, obviously nobody's gonna look at that and be like, oh, Augie's just asking a question. No, they're gonna know I'm being a dick. Which is what I would be being. I would be being a dick if I were to say that. But he's just sitting here like, oh, Alex is just asking if Tommy sees a pedophile. There's nothing wrong with that. Why is Alex begging the question in the first place? Given this guy's track record of falsely accusing people, falsely implying that people are pedophiles, why is this worthy of a question being asked here? I actually compiled the 4 creators that I know off the top of my head that Alex has implied pedophilia. Many of them are very familiar. If you take a look at this, of course, right here. So Alex has implied Progress, Slazo, Tommy C, and Zaptai are all pedophiles. Did he get a single one correct? Now, the only case I can think of that Alex could have gotten correct was Zaptai. There is a long-running narrative that Zaptai sent his dick pics to underage fans. Now, never has there been a screenshot that was produced to prove this. Never have there been images of Zaptai's dick roaming around on Twitter. And I find it hard to believe that if it's public knowledge, it's verifiably provable that Zaptai sent his dick to fans, we wouldn't have seen his dick. I mean, think about Pro Jared for a minute. We all know Pro Jared sent his dick to fans because we've seen the pictures of Pro Jared's dick. The same can't be said for Zaptai. So maybe, I mean, we at the end of the day, we do know Zaptai's a dick. So maybe he did that. Maybe. It's possible. But there's no proof for that. So let's go through it. Progress. Obviously, we know. Slazo. Obviously, we know. Tommy C. Is there any substantial evidence that Tommy... obviously
there is
not.
no
Obviously,
way.
there is
no
not even an allegation. There is
hell.
no... what was that?
No
Ben?
conceivable way.
100% obvious.
Yeah, 100%.
Not
Obviously.
even
You don't remember when Tommy C was falsely accused as being... an accusation has never even been presented. So, I don't even know what Alex is even going there.
Yeah.
And
That's
of course,
quite a
Zaptai,
list.
which is the
Like,
only... Go ahead.
Whenever I think of ImAllexx like accusing someone, I'm like, oh yeah, Zaptai, Slazo, and then like you think about it more, and you're like, wait, Progress, Tommy, wait, there's way too many here. Like I completely forgot about the Progress one until you brought it up in that tweet that you just put up on screen right now.
Which, by the way, he has refused to apologize for. He falsely labeled Progress as a pedophile based on what he heard from group chats. And when presented with counter evidence that obviously vindicated Progress, he refused to apologize for this. So, this is a stand-up guy. If you at any point think I've been too harsh or too mean or too negative against Alex, I don't have too many nice words for you other than it's ridiculous. I mean, that's just dumb.
Yeah.
This guy is a scumbag. He's a piece of shit.
I feel like people who are sympathetic to Alex are just people who don't know much about the story and are probably maybe even hearing a bit from ImAllexx. Because the way ImAllexx talks, and you'll see in the podcast, he does present it in a way where it shows some truths and then it makes him look better or in a better light. But as you can tell, if we compare it to the truth, definitely he looks bad, but you would only know that if you look deep into it. So on surface level, I can see why people are a bit sympathetic to ImAllexx, but if you look any deeper than surface level, you can tell that, yeah, he is he's definitely something.
And I just want to point out right here, right? If you were sympathetic toward Alex due to lack of information about the subject, take that as a lesson to not open your mouth on shit you don't know you're speaking about. Notice a pattern here with all of these guys. Weast, he himself said, I made the mistake of speaking too soon about stuff I didn't know about. Even Alex, and we're going to see that in the clip that we're going to watch from the Happy Hour podcast, even Alex admits that. Yet these stupid retards continue to do the same thing over and over again. Don't be like these retards. Actually think for look into a situation before, if you see like a shitload of people just dunking on someone, odds are probably it's for a good reason, depending on the situation, of course. But make sure, or maybe you have an opposite mindset. If you see a bunch of people shitting people, obviously, this guy must be innocent. Actually look into the data for a minute and see. Once you figure out that Alex is a scumbag who, lies constantly, tries to ruin people's life, refuses to own up to his own mistakes and apologize for slandering people with pedophilia claims, it starts to make sense why people are so harsh and so mean to Alex. So actually, like, if you got caught up in the storm of like, oh, this guy seems like a nice guy, why are you so hard on people? Just, realize for a minute that you're making the same mistake these retards did by speaking out. The only difference is that you have the potential to admit to your own shortcomings and learn, whereas Alex just refuses to do that. So that's just what I have to say about that. All right, that's what I had to say about that. And unfunniest, by the way, go fuck yourself. You're a retard. I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah. Unfunniest, every time he tweets, he gets ratioed to shit. The only person I see get ratioed more than unfunniest is Jessica Yaniv. Which is definitely
congratulations, you have now been compared to Jessica Yaniv unfunniest. That is quite the legacy to hold up there. All right, is my screen sharing? Yes, it is. All right. Now, how many viewers do we have right now? Let me double check. All right, we got a packed house tonight. 240 viewers right now. Everyone, I'm going to debut you guys Nick's brand new video, which ties into the Alex stuff. We're going to watch this before we get into the Happy Hour podcast, just because, like I said, if you look back at Alex 2 to 3 years ago, you start to see a very similar storyline that we saw this summer with the Slazo situation. And Nick has a video upcoming that's going to explain all of that and more and go into a story 2 to 3 years ago that was left unsolved. This is the Zaptai story, of course, and we're going to be taking a look at this right now. at the trailer that he put up on Twitter. Let's go ahead and look in.
I theorised before that this could be a tactile backstab, or it could be down to carelessness. But let's consider a third option, that Alex is naive.
So, once again, very serious video.
Since the beginning, she was being cheated on with 4 other girls who were 16 and 17 years old. My problem with Michael was him admitting to doing things that he knew Che may not have wanted to do and being incredibly forceful.
The next thing I know, somebody's fucking got a hold of my testicles.
He can literally do what he wants to this man, who is straight, who is just doing his...
Now, I gotta pause this and just ask the chat the question right now. Are you guys starting to see a similarity, a pattern here? You know, Alex has a history of 3 examples that are scattered through literal years. It's not like Alex blew up and became an asshole. What we didn't realize... look, here's the thing, alright? With the Slaza story... The first time, you know, with the Zaptai story 2 to 3 years ago, you could pass it off as, well, he handled that situation like shit, and he looks like a scumbag, but he's a new, inexperienced YouTuber. He's also a younger guy. So we can pass it off as just inexperience and hope that he doesn't do it again. Well, 2 to 3 years later, we would learn he would do it again, except 10,000 times worse. So it's not like he blew up to become an asshole. He was always this way from the start. We just didn't realize that because at the time the pattern wasn't obvious to us. Now, of course, it is. Yeah.
Now, there's something important that he says in the podcast, and I feel like I'm getting a bit too ahead of myself when I say this, but it's related to what we're talking about now, so I'm going to say it anyways. ImAllexx says that this type of stuff where he finds out about like an accusation happens in his friend group 3 to 4 times a year. And it only happens around ImAllexx.
Makes you think. Sorts of activates.
Really gets your noggin jogging.
Yeah. Alright, let's keep watching.
It's job for them. At this point, I think it's undeniable that that is what's been going on.
Grabbed me by fucking testicles and then turns to her.
I swear to God, Nick, if I get copyright claimed for this piece of shit music, I'm fucking killing you, dude.
He goes, oh, well, he's got a nice pair. I know so many people who turn blind eyes to sexual predators, rapists, paedophiles. I know people who have known that people have done these things for months and they kept it quiet. And when I found out, I asked everybody how long everybody knew. They were like, I've known for months about the fact that everybody here is a sexual predator. And I'm just sat here going, you guys are fucking terrible. This has happened 4 times now. And it's also happened with people who just disappeared, who most people wouldn't know about over the last year as well. So, like, there are certain YouTubers just disappeared, most people don't know why, and it's because one of my friends would be like, so-and-so did this, and I speak to...
Oh my God. There is 1,000 times wrong with the, 1,000 different stories wrong with all these clips, and we will get into everything when we watch the Happy Hour podcast. Dude. I can't hype this up enough, because the podcast, it may start off slow at first, but Alex says he says a lot of contradictory and outright lies that I guess the mentality is he's banking on the fact that it's been a few months now, so people have forgotten, so they won't fact check me. Unfortunately, we still remember Alex, and we're never going to forget. He also reveals a story, a very interesting story that destroys him. Now, there's question as to who he was referring to, and we'll get into all this in a moment, but I am going on record right now, about 10 minutes before I started this show, I got a very credible, extremely credible source confirming that the person that Alex doesn't name in the podcast is exactly who we think it is. And because the two people are the same, it makes Alex look like a more horrible person than you could have imagined. And this source, by the way, I can't say who it is, all right? And I know that sounds really sketchy, or it sounds really like blue ballish or whatever. Look, if you knew who the source was, you wouldn't question it. I'm just saying it right now. But Nick told me to point that out because it's very important that we talk about this. It just destroys him.
Did Nick put a clip of ImAllexx saying that people who hold on to sexual assault allegations and don't come out with them are scummy, and then ImAllexx talking about how he heard about sexual assault allegations and he never came out with it and no one knows about it.
Are you asking if Nick put that in his video?
He did. He put both of those clips next to each other. That is... Wow, Alex. Dude, Alex has so many hypocritical clips. It's like, I think someone like Nick the Oreo or like the Oreo or Comment Cop made a lot of compilations during the ImAllexx Slazo drama where they made ImAllexx debunk himself with different video clips, and it was just so insane. Dude, ImAllexx is the most hypocritical YouTuber I have ever seen.
You just reminded me of something. You literally just reminded me of something that is... It's so damning, and this is new. We're not recycling content from like 2 months ago. This is new. Every day, this guy continues to bury himself.
Okay,
what? Yeah, you just reminded me. I got hyped. I got hyped as hell.
I don't know about this actually.
Yeah. Don't worry. I can't show you guys now because we have to watch the podcast first for it to make sense. But yeah, oh my god, this guy just hands us content all the time.
Dude, I think I'm gonna make a part 5, dude. Twitter versus ImAllexx part 5. Let's go.
You give a shit go. You can make as many of those as like a Minecraft Let's Play.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like 20 by the end of next year, dude.
This morning, I think I made a tweet. I was like, "Please, just give us a story," and I got it. We got it right here, and it's with Alex, but it just the plot thickens every time. All right, I think I've.
Right before we get into the podcast, though, I would like to point out that just the fact that ImAllexx is a YouTuber who can have a false allegation compilation, like, I think that says it all, dude. Like, he literally... Some people have, like, funny moments montages, or, like, montages of smart moments or intellectual moments. He has a montage of false sexual assault allegations.
Oh yeah, it's just fucking
nice.
Pathetic. We can actually watch. We can watch the Comment Cop video. Should we watch should we watch it all? And if so, before or after the podcast? Because I feel like it would help us refresh ourselves going into Alex's lies. Do you think we should? It's very short.
Yeah, let's watch it.
All right, let's watch. I gotta pull this one out. I didn't have this in the docket, obviously. Let me just go ahead and pull this up right now.
Dude, the ImAllexx story is so big that the more we talk about it, the more like it reminds us of certain things, because he's just done so much. He's done so much. Like, it's even harder for me to compile it with some of my videos sometimes, because it's just like there's just so much there, man.
Yeah. All right, I got the video pulled up right now. Whoop! Stop, YouTube, stop. There we go. All right, I had to switch my scenes here. Let's go ahead and get into this, just to refresh ourselves on what exactly we're doing. We gotta do this. This is for educational purposes, so that when we go into the podcast, we know what he's lying about. Because, like I said, this is 2-month-old drama. We're a little rusty here, so we gotta refresh ourselves here. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot this is doing memeology now, so I actually have to read this. Thanks. Slazo's ex-girlfriend accuses Slazo of being sexually abused during her relationship. We know. Slazo released a video giving context to leaked DMs and debunks everything she accused him of. ImAllexx's response?
Michael's video has come out where he's debunked some of the things that were put in there. My problem with Michael was him admitting to doing things that he knew Che may not have wanted to do and being incredibly forceful.
I do have plenty of evidence from very early on in the relationship where
incredibly
she
forceful,
clearly
Matt.
made no intention to wait until 16. Had her first kiss, our teeth hit each other's, neither of us knew what we were doing, and I was willing to call it quits there when she pulls my hand down and says to touch her, which is a pretty long way from how she portrays it.
I wasn't comfortable by it.
The story. In fact, she was actually the one who.
I was uncomfortable. She pulled my hand down. All right, you guys know this. I'll play the video.
Brought up the entire idea of doing anything in
dude.
cinema. It was her idea, and I had no reason to believe she wasn't as in on this as I was. So I'm not sure why she made it look like this.
And being incredibly forceful and almost demanding, which he admitted to doing in his video.
You know, I wasn't a good boyfriend, and it ended up being pretty damaging. And again, I'm sorry for that. This was my first real relationship, and I was a massive, inconsiderate, emotionally unavailable dick. I'm really sorry about that.
Alex goes on to suggest Slazo is still
I really
being
hope he gets help, because no.
Common copy, you didn't give me time to read. Alex then goes on to suggest Lazo is still being sexually abusive and should seek help.
I really hope he gets help, because nobody should just carry on doing what he did. I don't believe he's innocent. I don't think he's innocent at all. The stuff that Michael admitted to is stuff that makes me not want to be friends with somebody who is capable of doing those things, even the things he admitted to. And he should try and improve himself. But I personally don't want anything to do with somebody who even managed to admit to some of the stuff that he had apparently done. And that's literally it. Do you know what actually helps the Predators? Making up a fake, fabricated story.
Oh my god, I forgot this part.
About how somebody is a sexual predator when they aren't.
What you say?
That's really going to stop people coming forward, because it makes people like me look at these stories and think, how much of this is actually true if people could just go on the internet and spout up a terrible story like this and it receives tens of thousands of retweets. It's disgusting behaviour. This is a crime.
What you say?
Nah.
But to make a story up like this
nice copyright
is
music there.
so
Yeah,
disheartening.
I'm gonna claim to shit.
Because at the end of the day, no matter what you think about him, he's a person too. And making up lies like this, which will follow him for the rest of his life. It's unbelievable.
What you say?
It makes me sick when I read this. I felt physically ill. About the fact that people go this far to try and create a trending topic.
What you say?
Honestly am so disappointed, disheartened, upset over reading something like this. Because so many people believed it.
What you say?
They so cared so little about the actual truth and actual victims of the situation that they just started replying with like memes and Slay Queen and that's the T-sister to the fucking tweets. And it's disgusting.
What you say?
Yeah!
You're a liar.
Dude.
You fabricated the entire situation. What is wrong
It
with
goes
you?
on!
I don't want to see people...
Notice how long this clip is. When did we start? When did we start? We started at 2. It's gone on. We've literally used Alex's own words against him unedited for almost 4 or almost 2 minutes, and it works. You can literally take his own words from a story 3 months ago and apply it to himself. This is how much this guy compulsively lies.
Dude, this is the definition of hypocrite. Like, if you go into the dictionary and there's like a video example,
you couldn't get a better visual example than this.
That is this is exactly it. It is perfect, 100% pure hypocrisy.
Just railing him, dude.
People who are...
He's not even...
shit.
Comment Cop isn't even doing any work. He's using Alex's own word. Oh, it's so beautiful how it sticks together.
Abusing their power, getting away with it. You know, that's why I constantly stand up to anybody and anything I know who's getting away with stuff like this.
What you say?
Oh, it just continues.
That it's all for the
Alright, Common Cop, you trying to get me claimed? What the hell?
best, because it is.
Please just check to see if what you are sharing to people is true, because these have such hard-hitting implications on people.
This
You know, whether you're a victim
this makes the happy
or a
hour
victim of a
clip
false
so much
allegation,
worse that we're about
both
to
of them should
watch.
be treated as just important
See,
as the other.
The reason why I'm playing
Hello,
this for you guys... Yeah, what's going on, Maddie? The reason why I'm playing this for you guys... some of you get people who might still be familiar with the situation are probably looking at this and like, Augie, what the fuck are you doing? Why are we watching? We already know, Augie. We've gone through it like a month of coverage on this. Why are you playing it again? Well, we've had a break. And I need to just refresh literally everyone in the chat right now, just so we're all on the same page, so that when we watch Happy Hour, everybody just understands the level of liar we are dealing with here. I want to make sure just everyone is just completely Alex pilled, so that when we go into the show, everyone's prepared.
Yeah, everyone's Alex manipulation proofed before we get into this.
Yeah. All right, there's just a little bit, and then we'll get right into the podcast.
Probably a bad thing, but
I'm gonna need you.
Is it just a clip?
Yeah,
why is he literally memeology now? We got DSP now? All right, whatever. Comic Cop. That
Let's finally watch the fucking clip, dude.
Oh, I've been waiting for this all night.
1 hour into the podcast.
There we go. Got it. I had to figure out how to copy and paste again. I forgot. Oh, yes.
The happy hour, the podcast that he was kicked off of, now he's back.
Yes. Now this is a
Dude, I'm really happy right now watching
this. Is a very happy. Notice we're an hour into the show right now. This is a 2-hour show. So for the next hour, this is gonna be a very happy hour podcast.
Happy hour, dude.
Oh, I'm just so. All right, let's get into it.
I don't know if this
Bro, I'm hard as
is something you want to talk about. But this is something that's obviously happened to you this year. The whole Slazo thing.
Yeah, with Michael. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
spoke to him the other day. Actually.
did you? What's how's that now? Is that kind of because I want to get on to talking about this cancel culture thing.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's blown. I feel like it's blown over now, and it's gone. And I think you
for both of us.
Yeah.
God. We were that's what we talked about the other day.
Yeah.
We were like, we can finally get back to making videos again. Oh, this is fucked.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a weird thing, and a lot of people.
Now I'm gonna preface this by saying the first few minutes of this starts slow as shit, but it builds up. All right, so hang in there,
People, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people messaged me and tried to get me to make a video about it.
Yeah, of course they did.
And they also came out and I'm not defending myself here because I'm no part of this, but I want to give my opinion on it.
You don't want to be.
I haven't given my opinion.
You don't want to be. Damn straight, Alex. Damn straight.
On this yet. A lot of people were basically giving me shit in DMs, and I know it's a small minority, but they're the loudest, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, right, your friend Alex has fucked up, and you are not making a video about it. You're not calling him out. What's the issue here? I just want to say, one, I don't call out everything online. I call out things I'm educated in.
That's the one thing I always say.
Yeah.
So I'm not sat here going, who's fucked up today? I've got to get on it quickly.
Exactly. I didn't talk about
That's exactly what you are like, Augie. You just like said that.
Literally,
on the
that
podcast.
is
I'm
100% what I am like. Who? Literally, that's what I do every morning. I go on Twitter. Who fucked up? Who did something awful? Fortunately for me today, it happened to be Alex. So there you go. But yeah, that's 100% how I am. And Alex, literally anything that gets views, which is usually people fucking up, that's what you do the video on. I mean, every day. Yeah. So don't lie to yourself, Alex. That's complete first lie right there. Now, granted, that's not a major lie or anything like that. But I just want to point out, people who lie compulsively, they do it frequently, and it doesn't even matter how important you need to lie about. I knew this guy in school or whatever when I was in middle school, and he lied all the time. But it wasn't important. It wasn't like a serious, like, he told really bad lies or whatever that, got him in serious trouble. It was just small, stupid shit. Like, he would walk into school one day. I told the story yesterday, but I'll tell it again. He told the story, and he was like, yeah, I'm so badass. I'm in 5th grade, but I already pay my own bills. My parents make me pay my own bills, and I'm such a badass because you guys, leech off your parents, but I'm paying my own bill. And it's like, we all know we're in 5th grade. Even I'm in 5th grade, and I know you don't pay your own bills. All right? Why do you have to lie about that? We're not going to judge you for living off your parents at 5th grade. We're also 5th graders too. That doesn't matter. But he would do stuff like this all the time. And Alex is 100% like this, although in addition to small things that he lies about, he also lies about very important and serious things that get him into very serious trouble. So it's kind of like an element added to it that just makes it all worse.
Yeah, I understand you, Augie.
Yeah, I'm reading Crimson Studios. As a person who has had a bat problem for a long time, Augie is totally right with the compulsive liar. Thank you, Crimson. For backing me up. Also, what's going on, man? How you doing? Anyway, let's get back into this.
I haven't talked about loads of things, right? I'm not just going to be this guy that jumps on everything.
Yeah, Delphine's bathwater was irresistible, though, let's face it.
Yeah, yeah. And also, I didn't even care. Like,
that
was entrepreneurial.
I went to school with her.
Did you?
Yeah, she was there for one day.
Okay.
I'll get to that.
We'll definitely get to that.
And the second thing is, clearly I have no... I've called you out before. You've called me out before.
Is it me
so
or just
I don't think we're sitting here like,
Cisco?
I'm never going to talk about this guy.
That's weird. That's always that's the one thing that always just weirded me out. Is like I would tell my friends. Also, it'd be one of those things where I tell my friends privately first, always. Like if I had like a genuine problem.
Of course, that's the way you should do. But the third reason why I didn't speak about it,
I tell my friends privately. I tell them everything. If I've got a problem with my friends, I tell him, I hit him up in the DMs like normal people do. My name's ImAllexx, right? And all these other YouTubers are fake as hell, man. They're complete sociopaths. They just generate content. All their entire life is just dedicated to looking for what gets the most views, and they're complete maniacs. But I'm Alex. And I'm a normal person, When my friends fuck up, I just DM them.
Yeah.
Is what he'd want you to think.
Yeah, except in this podcast he mentions, and he's mentioned this elsewhere, that he's known about the Slazo thing for 2 months before it came out publicly, and he was trying to find out if it was real or not. And Slazo confirmed that Alex never reached out to him during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So yikes! Big lie, big lie.
The problem with this rape is that, again, we're into this podcast. I'll be honest with you. Some parts of this I completely zone out on, so I'm not paying attention. That's 2 lies I've caught him on just from just like trying to pay attention and listen to this. So that's the second thing he's lied about. But that's,
we're 2 minutes in.
Unlike the first lie, this is actually a little more damaging because he's literally saying to Jaackmate right now. He's saying, I contact my friends when when I've got an issue with one of my friends, I hit them up in the DMs. We talk about privately, like normal people would. That is like normal people would. Alex, you're not normal people. You're a complete sociopath. When the guy you were living with was when rape allegations were presented to you about the guy you were living with, who's your friend supposedly, what did you do? You were like, oh my god, my friend's been accused of rape. I gotta talk to him about this or figure out what's going on here. No. You were like, oh, he must be a rapist. If you've told me that he's a rapist, obviously it must be true. There's nothing, people didn't lie. There's never been a victim that's come out and lied or at the very least exaggerated and, said horrible things about their ex that's, entirely false and fabricated. That's never happened before. Now look, I'm not saying you gotta dismiss the victim or like fucking pimp slap her and be like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. That didn't happen.
Exactly.
But the normal reaction would be to talk to the guy and figure out, because if someone comes to me and is like, yo,
and talk to him privately.
Yeah. And Ben, if someone came up to me and was like, yo, Ben, your friend Ben, he's a rapist, dude. He fucking raped me. The Alex way would be to be like, oh my god, this guy's a rapist. I gotta destroy this guy without looking into the details, without verifying the information. It's very important. And what Alex is going to go on to say, he's going to be like, oh, well, my friends were coming to me, and obviously, this was really going to mess with me. So, I was completely thrown off. It's like, well, look, just because they're your friends, they're telling you this stuff, doesn't mean the Xazo's also your friend. So you're telling me, like, if certain friends tell you literally anything, you'll buy it? They tell you to, like, jump off a fucking cliff, you're gonna do that shit? No, of course not. And when it comes to things as serious as rape allegations, I would expect, not from Alex, but just in general, I would expect the decency to engage in basic communication. But apparently with Alex, it's just too much. It's too much to ask.
Yeah,
because I have no fucking idea what went on. What went on, Alex?
Okay, I'll try to sum this up in the best way possible without
You better be telling the truth, Jaackmate. Watch us find out that this guy was involved. I'm not saying that. I'm just fucking bullshitting. But I don't know what to trust these YouTubers. I'm gonna take him at his word though that he genuinely does not know and he's just asking for questions.
It seems like he does it based off how he's talking.
This is about Alex, not Jaackmate.
It's got to the point because a lot of people are like, first of all, I'll make a point in one of the reasons why it's so hard to talk about something like this is because this isn't YouTube drama,
right?
This isn't, and this is the thing. This is a YouTube problem, and it should never have been a YouTube problem. This happened between my friends. Like,
exactly,
you fucking dumbass. YouTubers are involved, and you made it public, so now it's a YouTuber problem. You fuck.
Yeah.
Idiot. Retard.
Why are there so many cases of rape and pedophilia that become YouTube drama? Like, I thought YouTube drama was supposed to be stupid shit.
Yeah, it's supposed to be shit like the Madame shit,
I thought YouTube drama was like dumb, petty, easily laughed at. This is serious stuff with rape and pedophilia.
Or like
why is it? Yeah. Why is it YouTube shit and not police real life shit? You find out your friend's a rapist, and YouTube is where you go to. Yeah, you've just been raped, and you write the twit longer.
Yeah.
What?
That's a good question.
Like Alex just got grabbed by the balls. Let's talk about it in a podcast. He got grabbed by the balls.
This is a great podcast topic. Fuck the police. Like, I'm not no cops, no authorities. This is gonna go on my podcast.
And I recall ImAllexx was throwing in the Discord call with me and Nick. He was throwing his friends under the bus, and he was like, I would have called the police. I told him to call the police, and then they didn't. But then later on, we find out he doesn't call the police when he gets sexually assaulted. So would have ImAllexx called the police for the Slazo shit? Probably not.
Okay, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Manny. Yeah, real quick.
Okay, Bobla, sorry to interrupt, but
it's all good.
When you have a shell allegation, okay, CP, okay?
Yep.
The rightful thing for you to do is go to the police, not make a fucking YouTube video about it.
Exactly.
That's my opinion. Because
that should be everyone's
opinion.
It's very basic. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're not exactly breaking new grounds over here. I don't know. Let's jump back. Let's jump back into the show.
Yeah, okay. Let's keep going.
Even say my friends.
Yeah.
And these are people I know.
Isn't that why there was such a backlash, though?
That's why it was so huge, because I think everybody completely... For us, we're not thinking... I actually asked specifically at one point, when everything was going down, because one of the things people get confused by is they thought it was a big conspiracy theory.
Right.
Like, we all got together privately and we're like, we're going to ruin his life. No, what happened?
They specifically wanted to ruin his life.
We have evidence of you guys cooperating, and you literally say later in the podcast he talked about it amongst them for 2 months. Now you're calling it a conspiracy theory, and it's not true. But yet he goes on to not say anything to the contrary, and in fact mentions stuff that supports the so-called conspiracy theory.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Boblox, but is there not a DM of him like wanting Slazo specifically to lose brand deals and not be able to go to conventions anymore and stuff like that? Am I wrong in that? I seem to remember a DM.
I know
at the very least, we
that.
know. Yeah.
I don't know if Alex said that. He might have. I'd have to check over everything. It might have been like Theoden that said that, or somebody else.
There was intention to fuck this guy up, and that's exactly what Alex is lying about. So again, and that's this isn't a small bullshit lie. Oh yeah, that was Hyojin, right? Hyojin was the one who said that.
Yeah,
but Alex
then
is arguing that there's not.
Alex said like I agree fully. Something along those lines.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He did. So we're talking about a DM group of people. Alex is saying we didn't conjure up and want to ruin this guy. Hyojin, they were all in a group. She said we got to ruin this guy. We got to make sure he loses all his subs, all his brand deals, all his revenue income, all his sponsorships. All of that's got to go. And Alex, I completely agree. But it's 2 months now. We're all gonna forget about that. Notice even we're foggy about it because it's been a while. And that's exactly Alex's tactic here used in this podcast. He's going to bank on the fact that we've all forgotten. We're all foggy. We're all out of practice. We're all out of experience. All the big players in the Slazo drama, that's Tommy C, Nick, Boblox, myself to an extent, we're all rusty. All our views are low right now. We're all out of the game. We're all a little rusty right now. So Alex is going to jump in and talk about this now when we're weak. That's the game plan right here. And I'm not even joking about that. That is genuinely like his goal here. It's like, all right, it's safe to talk about it now that they're off my ass. Big E tossing 2.
Now that people forgot the nitty-gritty details, Yeah,
exactly. A Big E tossing 2 in the super chat. Notice Alex is looking up and to the left. He's lying. Yeah, there's a little visual tactic where apparently, like, when you tell a lie, statistically you happen to look to like the left or something, as if you're like fetching for information to like spew that's bullshit. I don't think that's factual, but it's like a visual, like it's like an urban visual myth or whatever.
Yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Look around more when I think it's more associated with like trying to think of something. But then if you're trying to think of something, obviously you're lying. But it also could be he's trying to remember something.
So every
but in
time,
this case,
listen, all right? Every time I look to the left, this camera right now is actually inverted. So when I look to the left, I'm not telling a lie. I'm not even joking. The camera's inverted. Oh my god. So when I look to the left after everything that I speak, it's because the camera's inverted, all right? Take my word for it. But then again, if I was lying and I was a compulsive liar, I'd be lying to you about the camera being inverted. So there you go. Look at that. Is it? I think it is. Yeah, the camera. I just changed camera. Okay, yeah, it's inverted. Shut the fuck up.
If your friend allegedly, or God knows anymore, I don't even know at this point.
Yeah.
Gets sexually assaulted or whatsoever.
Because Slazo was
he'd been accused of his ex-girlfriend of sexually assaulting her on multiple occasions when she didn't want it, or something along the lines of that. And she supplied some messages along with it.
Right.
We all got told. Now everybody, for some reason, it's one of the things that confuses them. Everybody goes, "Well, they were talking about it privately before." Well, yeah, our friend was accused of being a rapist.
Yeah.
So we all kind of got together as friends and spoke about it.
We got together and we just spoke about it. No other action took place. We just talked about it. Not with Slazo.
Yeah. Slazo wasn't involved. Slazo wasn't contacted at all or talked with at all in regards to this.
Yeah.
We just talked to the accuser, you know? God. So dumb.
All right,
the police weren't involved either, by the way.
Yeah. We spoke about it. No action took place. We just talked about it with friends.
Yeah,
discussed it.
We just talked about it with our fucking stupid ass YouTube friends.
By the way, again, he's running the narrative of like, oh well, our friend Shay came to us. What are we supposed to do? Believe her without any evidence? Throw your friend under the bus? No. What the fuck? Again, if someone comes to me and tells me, even if it's a friend of mine, that's a girl that comes to me and tells me my other friend raped her, instantly I'm not going to assume that that's true. Even though both parties are my friend, that's not how it works. You don't throw your friends under the bus when you hear shit. You look into it, you figure it out. And most importantly, if an actual sexual assault took place, it's not a YouTube story. It's a police story. It's a police situation.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
You know, I just been with Michael for ages, and then it all got like, then basically the next thing I know, he leaves 2 days later.
So Michael Slazo.
Yeah, he's with. Yeah, so
he's
Slazo,
at yours.
I'll call him Slazo for the purpose of this.
Yeah.
Slazo's at mine.
Yeah.
He leaves. He's been there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We got on really well. And then he leaves, and then basically what ends up happening is 2 days later, I get added in with a bunch of friends of mine, and they go, he did this like, it was a long time ago, like 8 months, maybe even a year.
Yeah.
Like, I think they like, we've known since PAX Australia or something.
Right.
2018, I think it might have been.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, all right, so if this is something that it wasn't phrased to me as like this is accused. It's like, we know this is and I don't see a problem with that in the sense that they are all friends with him as well, and you know they all believed it in the same way. Like, that's perfectly.
You have to take them allegations
really
with
serious.
some kind of sincerity.
A friend of theirs who they've known for ages and ages and ages turns to him and goes,
Is everything you're saying lining up so far, Bo Blacks? Because I've been listening.
I'm not gonna lie, I was zoning out slightly, but I believe so.
I've been listening.
Have a friend do this to me.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, oh well, yeah, I don't think she's making it up, because why would we? Because we actually know each other.
Yeah. But then it is also that kind of like thin line of he said, she said, isn't it?
So, and it's one of those things where we get told, it's like, oh, it's been going on. Number one, I was like infuriated, because I was like, oh, everybody's known for so long.
Why didn't you know?
Why am I just finding out now after he's flown here?
That's fair enough, because I think, say allegations came out about you, for example, right? And Stevie had known about it, I would be fuming with him as well, because I'd be like, that's something I should know about. You're allowed your private life, but when it kind of crosses the line between legal and illegal, that affects me.
Well, it's like, I didn't.
No, it's
I
true.
was like, I really hope I haven't been hanging out with a fucking like borderline rapist.
Oh, of course,
exactly.
Of course.
Yeah, so I was.
Luna Lizzie's right. He didn't talk to them for 2 years, but then all of a sudden he came back to talk to them specifically for the Slazo shit.
Even though the guy Slazo is who he was living with.
Yeah. You know, he would rather talk to people he hasn't talked to in 2 years who are accusing his friend of horrible shit than his friend that he was just hanging out with a couple weeks prior in real life.
Let me remind all of you people. when Alex was in the call with myself, Boblax was there later.
Yeah, there's been multiple calls with ImAllexx.
Okay, I was only in one call with Alex, and in the call that I was in, it was between myself, ImAllexx, Leslie.
I think Vexium was there, and maybe Scrubby.
Vexium, yeah.
At least when I got in there.
Yeah, Vexium was in mine as well. When he was in the call with me and all the other parties mentioned, he told us horrible things about the Reddit crew. He told us that these people are pieces of shit. They're horrible people. All these people are disgusting assholes. But Slazo is also horrible because he's a rapist.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you can't have it both ways, Alex. The people who are accusing him of rape are terrible, horrible people. But so is the guy that they're accusing. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. That's basically what he was
And it's funny when he tells us that, right? Because it literally does not make any sense. Yeah. So he worked with the people that he thought were horrible people because
later in the call.
So he worked with the people he thought were horrible people because he also thought that the person that they were accusing was worse than them. What kind of logic is that? So yeah, he does those horrible things about these people, but here he's like, but I'd rather work with them than Slazo, even though I was living with the guy.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. It doesn't make any sense. Who knows the truth at this point?
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, so then I was like, I saw the evidence, and for me, I thought it was really believable. Also, this is not the first time this has happened, which is, I'm not gonna lie, I'm 20 years old. I should not have this come to my doorstep. But it's this really odd thing where everybody was like, "Oh, you just shouldn't have done anything about it." That's what all my friends say.
That's such a hard.
This is a grey area in itself. The whole accusations of rape. Are you guilty until proven? Are you innocent until proven guilty, or vice versa? Because obviously there's a big thing with the media, isn't there? Where someone will be on trial for rape, and that'll be plastered all over the newspapers. And then if they're innocent, it's like, oh fuck, they'll give a little column apologise. It's like, you've just called this guy a rapist for the last thing. So I feel like this is a much bigger issue in the grand scheme of things, and it is a massive grey area, and it's so difficult. It is so difficult because I can play, mate. Right, if someone come forward, or if something come forward, and they're like, Jack raped me.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd be like, "Fuck, did he?" And then if there's evidence to back.
But if Alex heard that, you know what he would say? He did.
Yep.
And not did he did. Switch the words around. That's what you get with Alex.
Back it up, or you're seeing things,
Pretty much.
and then of course your mind is going to go there.
It's difficult. You are bang on. It is a grey area because although you wouldn't want to believe it, and you wouldn't necessarily instantly believe it, there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah,
there is no smoke.
But then there's
fire.
also the opposite to that. Fuck me, I cannot imagine.
Alex will literally never touch this podcast with a 10-foot pole. Let me tell you that. He called into SFTP 3 years ago about the Zaptai story, by the way, which, again, shout out to Nick, his new video. Again, you're going to see so many parallels. But yeah, ever since he bombed on SFTP like 3 years ago, he has sworn off live shows, especially this one.
Yeah. And and even when he's on a podcast with his friends who are supporting him and it's pre-recorded, he still manages to say some fucked up shit.
Yeah, he's not very... You can imagine he's probably not quick on his feet live, and he's smart enough to admit that at least.
And being falsely accused of raping someone, and seeing your friends and your family and your loved ones like see that air of doubt out behind, you know. So
and I think it was because
the whole thing is just awful.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here. I fucking handled it horrifically.
It's because you went public with it straight away, didn't you?
It wasn't just that. It was because we didn't go public with it straight away. That's what a lot of people were upset about.
Right. Okay.
They were like, "Oh, we spent like 2 months talking it over."
Right.
Because I was like, "Is it true? I want to know. I want to see the evidence. I want to see everything."
Yeah.
2 months. It goes by for 2 months.
But why?
That's why when it came out, I was pretty
You
certain.
were sure, yeah.
But then, there was a lot of stuff that was.
I was pretty certain. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Alex still thinks Slazo's a rapist. Pretty certain. You know, it's funny. we were in the call, I asked Alex specifically. I was like, so you think Slazo's a rapist, right? And Alex was like, yeah. And I was like, well, what's your, do you have any proof? 100%? Oh, are we talking 100%? And Alex said, not 100%. But based on what I've seen of the guy and stories that I've heard of the guy, it would make very much sense. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? I mean, he's like, well, of course, there's the initial allegation. There's the story about the bar, which we're going to see beautiful. You thought the comment cop hypocrisy was beautiful to look at? We're about to see something incredible. So there was the bar incident. There was Shay's story. There was, of course, the allegation itself. All of this combined, the fact that Slazo, and this is Alex's own words, not me like paraphrasing or putting words in the situation to, make it sound funny or whatever. Alex literally said this. He said, the guy's a little, autistic. He strikes me as like an autistic commentator. So,
Did he say that?
Literally, I'm not even joking.
Slazo is autistic.
He's like, Slazo's autistic. Very awkward, especially around women and stuff like that. I mean, all the clips I've seen, it seems like he's a fucking player.
I feel like he's projecting when he says that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, based on all the clips I've seen, he seems like a fucking player, dude. Like, they were literally on the bar
he seems
like
a pretty normal guy.
It's like, I mean, I don't know the guy. He could be a little awkward or something. He could be a little, maybe he's done some creepy things. I mean, he's admitted to, telling a girl to not take her, antidepressants so that she has a higher sex drive. That's pretty fucked up. I mean, that's nowhere near
but
rape.
he was younger when he did that.
That's true. He was also
I'd
younger.
imagine he's not like that today, especially with the way he was talking. He sounded extremely regretful, like genuinely, not just because of the repercussions in Nick's interview. Also, Slazo does not strike me as autistic in the slightest, so that's probably not true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
he said, like, the word he said was like, I swear to God, he said something like he was like a little autistic. It's like he's like sort of on the spectrum.
Yeah. Just
he could have been saying autistic as like a as like a derogative or something, like where he's like not literally autistic, but he was like just use that word to say like awkward, like how like I call you like a fucking autist as like a meme or whatever. Maybe he was using it in that context, but he said autistic. I swear to God, he said that. Whether or not he meant that literally or in like a sort of like just like a replacement for the word awkward. So
maybe
done that made me feel uneasy anyway. But I was like, I don't really want to be friends with people who kind of like say stuff like this.
I heard about in a nightclub. He was pretty.
Yeah, it was like I had people come up to me the next day and be like, it was really weird last night. But
the nightclub. Oh, the nightclub. Oh my God, let me tell you about the nightclub. The nightclub where the next day, oh my God, I gotta go full screen for this. Hold on. Let me tell you all about the nightclub. So the next day, Alex heard stories that Slazo was like a horrible, he was very awkward. He was like very rapey around the nightclub or whatever. You guys want to hear a little story about the fucking nightclub, dude? You guys want to see? Alex was there at the nightclub, so he would remember more than anyone else what exactly Slazo was doing. We have a picture of Alex with Slazo celebrating Slazo for picking up some girl at the bar. But the next day, he found out, oh my God, he was creepy. He was rapey around a girl. You know what's funny? Let me show you guys this. Oh my God, I've been waiting all night. All right, let me show you this. This is from Nick the Oreo. Not the Oreo, the Oreo. And this is them talking about the fucking night. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, they literally said Michael took the W that night. But the next day, whoa, he raped someone? What? But the night before, he said he took the W. A clear hypocrisy. Now, let me show you guys this.
By the way, good. I got it bandaged.
All right. Hold on. This is them talking about the hickey that Slazo had. Come on, play the video, Twitter.
Nice. Yeah, vampire attacked me.
Vampire? Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, that's bad.
Welcome
Wait, you seen the pictures? Hold on, did that play the whole thing? Why the fuck is the Twitter player broken? Hurry up, Twitter! Why is it so broken? The media cannot be played. Play that shit. We need to hear this.
Shut the... Nah, I don't
How's
know
your
what you're
neck
talking
holding
about.
up, by the way?
Good. I got it bandaged.
Nice.
Yeah, vampire attacked me.
Vampire? Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, great. On.
Shut the... Nah, I don't
How's
know.
your
Alright. Does everyone in the chat understand why this clip is important? They're talking about the fucking hickey that he had on the night he supposedly raped someone.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. Let's brag about it on a podcast.
I've seen the pictures. You've seen what? The pictures of what? The pictures of Saza raping someone? What do you mean you've seen the pictures, Alex?
Yeah,
what
dude,
are you talking about?
I've
You've seen those pictures?
So let's talk about it casually and laugh about it on our podcast.
You saw the pictures. So you saw the pictures. You saw the pictures of what? What did you see in the pictures? Did you see rape? I would imagine not. I'm just gonna go out on a whim and say probably not. Let's get the W. Remember that. Remember that Alex said that. Get the W, Michael. Get the W.
Get the W.
Get the W for what? What do you mean you've seen the pictures? What W did he get? The W for fucking rape?
Wait, so that either means ImAllexx is lying or ImAllexx thinks rape is a W. Hell yeah, dude! One of the two. So, is ImAllexx lying about rape or is he supporting rape? It's either one or the other. There's no good way out of this, dude. There is no good way out of this.
Get the fucking W!
Oh my god. Oh my god. No wonder this podcast is privated now. ImAllexx privated this entire podcast series. All like 40 plus episodes of the Camcast is gone.
They're gonna find out. They're gonna know. Oh no, they found it. No, shut it out. Get them banned.
Oh god. ImAllexx is just like in his head. He's like, damn it, if only Nick, Augie, and Bo Blacks didn't have an encyclopedia of all my fuck-ups downloaded onto their computer.
Oh my god. You know what the worst part about all of this is? Do you want to know what the worst part about all of this is? We started archiving every single podcast Alex made. And while we were doing it, he pulled all of them. And we lost like a shitload of podcasts.
I got only like half of them.
But we got that one!
Yeah,
we got it!
That was the first one I downloaded, dude.
Oh, we got it! We have the clips, we have the proof, we have the receipts!
Holding up, by the way. Good. I got bandaged.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, vampire attacked me.
Vampire?
Too excited there.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, that's
yeah, you see the pictures of what?
Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
God.
There's so many quotable Alex.
If Nick the Oreo loses his Twitter account, we all are gonna know why. Oh my god. That is damning right there. I'm not just overreacting for the fucking like meme or for the comedic effect or whatever you want to call. I'm not just like fucking like going ape shit for no reason here. This is very important because it is like the nail in the coffin of compulsive lying from Alex. We've literally got a guy saying, I was weirded out by him at the bar. I was uncomfortable by him at the bar. I was completely like, you know, that night, like when you asked Alex why he thinks Slaza's a rapist and he can't say 100%, but he says based on stuff that he's seen, including the bar, you know it's full of shit. Alex.
Yeah. Including the thing I explicitly lied about.
You said he took the W at the bar. What do you mean he took the yeah, he got the W, but he raped someone. That was not really cool, but he took the W that night. Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
And responding to Will Wallace, you know what's funny? What's even worse about what you quoted? It wasn't 2018 where he said this. It was 2019.
This was done.
This is
May.
recent.
This was literally done a month before the fucking allegations.
The allegations.
And if he had known for 2 months, that means that while they were in the house doing the podcast, he was planning to stab him in the back. He knew this guy was a supposed rapist.
Yeah,
but he did the podcast
I didn't even think of that.
a month before the allegations. So what does that mean?
in the Happy Hour podcast, he says that he's known for 2 weeks prior to the 2 months prior to the allegations coming out, and the allegations came out in June. In that podcast, they're talking about the James Charles drama, which came out in May. So he must have found out about it in April, but he was literally in real life in the same room as Slazo a month into knowing about it, and he never bothered to ask him. And he also was saying, like, oh, Slazo's creepy. I don't want to be around Slazo after I found out that shit. You were literally in the same room as him after you found out. You fucking dude, there is everything that could go wrong has gone wrong in this situation for Alex. Like, he's done everything incorrectly.
Oh my
god. The more I found out, the more like you know all these little things, and then you start finding connections, and you're like, holy shit, it's even worse, it's even worse, it's even worse. There's like a whole fucking web of ImAllexx fuck-ups that just all connect together into one big ball of fuckery. God,
no.
Jesus.
Fucking hell, man. Leave a like on the podcast if you enjoy. Alright, we got 2
all
minutes.
you need to know is one of these things to think ImAllexx is an asshole, but then there's so many more, and it's just... Oh my god, this man is unbelievable. I can't believe this guy exists.
Alright, we have about 2 minutes left of the footage to roll through, and then Nick said he could hop on. So let's go ahead and get through that. We're also about we have about 30 minutes. If we'll go overtime if necessary, but we have about 30 minutes, so I want to get through this.
Marty on fire. Can you do an Ace Attorney PR? Dude,
I am in
Ace literally like Ace Attorney. This literally is like Ace Attorney, dude.
God, dude.
Holy
I feel
shit.
like fucking Nick Ricada right now, dude. I'm just like making all these I'm not even a fucking professional, dude. I'm just some retard just sitting here in a chair figuring all this out.
But at the same time, it doesn't make him a rapist.
No, of course.
But at the same time, when you're adding all this stuff over,
Yeah.
and like I was just thinking, I don't want this person hanging around with my friends anymore at that point.
Why did you get backlash then? That's the...
Alright. Obviously, that doesn't make him a rapist. But when you tie it all together, except for the fact that he didn't really rape anyone at the bar. Matter of fact, I supported him at the bar, which wouldn't make sense. If he raped someone at the bar, like, what is he arguing happened? Like, what's the storyline he's arguing here? Is he saying that he supported Slazo at the bar for slaying pussy, but then the next day he found out he actually raped that pussy? Like, what? That doesn't... You would know. What the fuck? I don't... Alright.
That's the bit I'm struggling to, like, I don't know enough about it. I'm not defending you, nor am I accusing you.
Yeah,
why was the backlash there?
I doubled down, which was really stupid of me. And I
Mm.
doubled down in a way that I shouldn't have, and I put it in a really short Twitter video, which was dumb. Because I was like, I just want this done.
Yeah.
In my, this has happened 4 times now.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people don't know. Because most of the
Well,
time,
the thing is, you actually believe that double down. While we were in private calls with you, you literally still said, yeah, I think Slazo's a rapist. Like, all these calls happened after him doubling down. And we already heard Augie talk about him saying Slazo's pretty much a rapist, and saying he told the same thing to me and Nick, so...
We asked you about
this.
God. We literally asked him about this. Like, he's like, my mistake was I doubled down. So, you knew it was bullshit, and now you regret the fact that you doubled down?
Yeah.
Why would you regret doubling down? Why would he regret doubling down if he genuinely believed it?
Yeah. And by the way, one of the first things I told ImAllexx when I was in the call with him, because I was actually genuinely trying initially when I was in the call, is like, dude, like, you shouldn't have made those tweets, and you should make an apology right now. And this was like, I don't know, like, very early July, so before any of the shitstorm started, before my video came out, before Nick's video came out, before he felt like he needed to apologize. I told him he should apologize. He's like, nah, I'll just make it worse. He didn't want to apologize, and he thought that Slazo was still a rapist, so he didn't want to apologize.
That was your first mistake, Alex. You didn't listen.
You should have listened.
You should have listened.
I was trying to help you out, dude. But
you know, that's another thing, right? Because I was listening to Tommy's stream earlier. Tommy pointed out, well before this whole shitstorm started, even before we were in the call with Alex, obviously, Tommy reached out to Alex and was like, dude, like, you're fucking up, dude. And Alex's response was to cut him off, was to unfollow him and quit talking to him. So you open the podcast up by clarifying that if you have a problem with someone, you reach out to them in private, which we know isn't true, Because when it's something as serious as a rape allegation comes out, you find no reason to talk to someone about that. But when someone reached out to you to talk to you in private because they had a problem with what you were doing, instead of discussing it in private like you claim you like to do, you blew them off. You're like, no, I'll unfollow you. How about that? I'm not saying that you have to follow everyone on Twitter, but when someone that respects you reaches out to you, that you're mutuals with or whatever, it's like, yo, dude, you're fucking up or whatever, and the response is that, well, you really don't have anyone to blame but yourself. I mean, people tried to. We didn't jump into this like, oh yeah, let's get Alex. That wasn't the purpose here. It's like, let's get Alex if he's deserving of. Sorry, there's a fucking spider on the wall. Let's get Alex if he deserves it, which of course he did. All right.
And it's also happened with people who've just disappeared who most people wouldn't know about over
Oh,
the last
you missed
year
to
as
be
well.
the
So,
Spider-Man,
like,
man.
certain YouTubers just disappeared. Most people don't know why, and it's because one of my friends would be like, "So-and-so did this," and I'll speak to them, and then they'll be like, "Yep," and then they go. So like it's been this thing now. I was talking to Fraser about it the other day. We were like, this is like a recurring theme in our group of friends.
Oh, Einhaber. Yeah. What do you think of Einhaber, Bobox?
He's okay.
No, he's. Look,
He's
I've
a crazy ass.
in regards to the Slaza story, yeah, I heard some things. Not that he was involved. Well, I'm trying to think. I don't know what exactly he was involved with, but I know he was involved, and that's a little strange to me. But
I think it was just caught up in being Alex's friend in the scenario.
I've heard more stuff. But then again,
I've heard things too, but I mean, I'm not.
It's kind of interesting that he's throwing Naber under the bus here as well.
Yeah.
The,
I mean,
I don't know
never
if
might have done
Naber's
some things, but I'm not ready to
I don't know if Naber's entirely
Naber.
innocent out of this, but then again, I don't know. Nick says I think he lied to my face. Well, Nick, when you call
I think, the thing is, we only think though, and you might be right, and I think you probably, like, if I were to bet, like, one way or the other, I would think you're right, but I mean, at the same time, I'm not ready to pass judgment on someone that we don't know for sure is an asshole. But I mean, I'm Alex is definitely worse. I'd rather focus on my criticism towards him. Naber's like harmless. He's whatever.
We might talk more about that when Nick comes in. We got like 30 seconds left. Let's get through this.
It happens like 2 to 3 times a year.
Naber has better balls, apparently.
I should not be like that.
Well, so what are you saying, that
people get accused of
being rapists
or paedophiles, or just like being generally just like fucked?
It's
Jesus.
I think, Jordan, I've kind of like mulled this over a lot.
Yeah.
Because you do hear a lot of YouTubers have done shit like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And I obviously, we filmed a little video the other day that I don't know who's going to ever see the light of day, but somebody had basically photoshopped me. It was the point of the video was Photoshop me. But
Yeah.
do you remember somebody had photoshopped me next to Jimmy Savile and a bunch of other paedophiles?
Yeah.
So I made
what the fuck?
The joke. Oh, it's like being in the green room at Summer in the City.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the end of the clip.
Okay, it was already over. Okay, whatever. Woo! Happy hour! Yeah, that was a very happy hour. I enjoyed that.
That was a very happy hour. Yikes.
That was a load to go through, man. I did not expect the Alex shit. How far are we in that show? Let me see.
This is the whole podcast basically is Alex shit. We just have so much lore behind it that like we can talk about it forever, really.
Really, man. Really.
Because there's just so much info, and then by the time we're done covering all the info, we forget about something else, and then we literally I discovered something on the podcast, which is that he knew about the allegations while he was with Slazo. Supposedly, if we believe every word Alex said, the interesting thing about Alex is that we're always trying to figure out like what is he lying about, what is he not lying about. It's always up for discussion just because of how untrustworthy he is as a verbal source, right?
Not a good position to be in. Not a good position to be in.